And Trudy, we know Labor will support the wage subsidy. It is pushing for changes, but Australians can be guaranteed that this is something that will pass through the parliament.
The Labor leader, Ash, has made that very clear today, that whilst the opposition does have some issues with the way the government has chosen to frame this wage subsidy package, at the end of the day, this will pass today because it's such an important thing to get this money out into the economy. It's special sitting of Parliament, as you say, being held today. The Prime Minister addressing the House of Representatives just after 10 o'clock, talking about the gravity of the situation that Australia is facing, outlining the series of measures that the government has implemented to try and get the country to the other side of this unprecedented crisis, talking up the need to protect Australia's sovereignty.
So make no mistake, today is not about ideologies. We check those at the door. Today is about defending and protecting Australia's national sovereignty. It will be a fight. It will be a fight we will win. But it won't be a fight without cost or without loss.
Australians can feel comfort that the government has been prepared to act in a way which I'm sure makes it feel uncomfortable. They deserve credit for listening to the views of Labor unions and the business community on the wage subsidy issue. Even though we have concerns about some elements of the package and would like to see it improved, and we will make suggestions to improve it, we will support the legislation.
Trudy, it's no secret, of course, Australians will be paying off this package for years to come. We know the economy is struggling. There's a warning today that Australia could actually lose its AAA credit rating if the economy does fail to bounce back after the virus.
Ash, one of the biggest ratings agencies, S&P Global, has warned that Australia's prized AAA credit rating is at risk in the longer term, warning of a substantial deterioration in the financial situation because of the coronavirus and this unprecedented amount of spending that the Morrison government has had to do. In a statement in the last hour, the ratings agency says the COVID-19 outbreak has dealt Australia a severe economic and fiscal shock. We expect the Australian economy to plunge into recession for the first time in almost 30 years, causing a substantial deterioration of the government's fiscal headroom at the AAA ratings level. There are estimates that this unprecedented amount of spending will lead the nation to a debt level of around $1 trillion, quite a significant amount of money that will need to be paid back for many years to come here. The Treasurer was asked this morning about this, whether there needs to be a raise to the GST in order to pay this down. Here he was on Sky News.
Can you rule out any increase to the GST?
We have no plans to do that. What our policies that we took to the last election saw the tax burden being reduced. We legislated that through the Parliament. That was really important. And I think it's also important for Australians to understand that through our disciplined economic management over the last 6 years, we've brought the books back into balance for the first time in 11 years. That's given Australia the fiscal flexibility to respond during this crisis.
So Ash, it's a very different day in Parliament today. There will be the usual question time, though, at 2 o'clock.